Hey everybody, welcome to Dave's Kitchen. This is the first episode of Dave's Kitchen Patreon. I want to first of all thank all the patrons. Definitely appreciate all your support. I'm super excited about this new channel where I can just kind of streamline and focus all my attention on all things food. I'm sure we have some Boogie Monster patrons that have joined us here at Dave's Kitchen. You guys already know that sticking to a particular theme is not necessarily a tool I have in my cognitive toolbox. So Dave's Kitchen just rolls off the tongue a little better than Dave's video thing where he cooks but also talks about records and sports and whatever else is on his mind. So I am going to try to focus and just really kind of explore all things on the culinary spectrum. We're going to do some cooking videos. We've got a food podcast where I sit down with a friend, usually a comedian, maybe a chef, maybe a musician, maybe an insurance worker, I don't know, but just a one-on-one chat about food. So I'm excited about that. We've already got a few episodes in the can ready for you guys to listen to. But yeah, I'll probably be a little scatterbrained per usual. But for the most part, we are going to try to focus. We are going to try to focus. Today, for the first episode, I was going to start you off with gumbo, but then I realized it's almost June, and people don't like to eat spicy hot soup in the summer. Yeah, so I didn't really think about that ahead of time. And, gumbo and some of my other recipes are very complex. Very detailed. So I thought we'd start something easy today. I'm not an expert, believe it or not, on Asian cuisine. I love all types of Asian food. I love Chinese, I love sushi, I love Thai, all that stuff. But yeah, if you know me and you know my recipes, most everything I cook is meat-based and Southern influence. And I thought we'd start off the series with something just very simple. And it's a recipe that I kind of picked up a few years ago. And it's one of my go-tos. You'll see in a minute, it's so simple. But we're going to do some spicy garlic noodles. Looking back, my introduction to Asian food began when I was 8 years old. Woodstock, Georgia, 1985. A young, chubby 8-year-old Dave Stone is eating his way through town. Unfortunately, in Woodstock, Georgia in the 80s, we only had 3 restaurants. We had a Burger King, we had a mom and pop fast food place called Burger Chef, and we had a terrible meat and 3 called the Dixie Inn. But in the spring of 85, a Chinese restaurant was coming to town. And it was all the rave, all the news. At church, people were talking about it. At school, people were talking about it. I begged my parents to take us to Lucky Chopsticks. I had never had Chinese food. I had seen it in the movies, in the cool little takeout containers and the chopsticks, and it looked fascinating. So, knowing nothing about Chinese food or Asian culture in general, I finally talked my family into going. We all sat down, me, my brother, my mom, my dad, sit down in the booth at Lucky Chopsticks. We look at the menu. It was written in English, but it might as well have been written in Chinese or Mandarin, I think. Is it Mandarin and Cantonese? I know there's no actual Chinese language. Regardless, we didn't know what the hell was going on. So the safest bet in all of our minds was this thing called chicken fried rice. So, without hesitation, with no sense of irony, chicken fried rice, chicken fried rice, chicken fried rice, chicken fried rice. We ordered 4 giant platters of chicken fried rice. 10 minutes later, the server brought said platters, and there we sat, the Stone family, at Lucky Chopsticks, enjoying chicken fried rice. So that was my introduction to Chinese food and Asian food in general. Fortunately, I've come a long way since then. Again, not an expert by any means on Chinese or Asian cuisine, but I thought let's get a base. Let's start with some spicy garlic noodles. All right, spicy garlic noodles. First thing you want to do to kind of save some time, go ahead and get your pasta water boiling. That takes a while. And then you're going to need another pot, Dutch oven, some sort of pot, and it's going to tie it all together. So, pot for the water, pot for the noodles. Let's talk about the ingredients. Spicy garlic noodles. In the name, you're going to need some noodles. Okay, you can use any kind of noodle you want. I wouldn't use other sorts of pasta. I wouldn't do penne or rigatoni, but get you a nice linguine, a fettuccine, spaghetti, angel hair, whatever you prefer. I like the linguine. It's like a smaller fettuccine. So you're gonna need some pasta. You're gonna need a whole bulb of garlic. You're gonna need a little bit of ginger, about a thumb size piece. You're gonna need half a carrot. I know this is weird, but you're gonna need some Pecorino Romano cheese or maybe some Parmesan. Typically you don't put cheese on Asian food, but it works. For some reason, it kind of ties it all together, acts kind of as a binder. So yeah, get you some nice Parmesan or Pecorino Romano. We're gonna make a nice basic sauce. Out of 4 components, we're gonna do some fish sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil, and soy sauce. Gonna need about 4 tablespoons of butter. Gonna need a lime to hit that at the end. And then the spicy part comes from like a red chili sauce, a chili paste. These Fly by Jing Szechuan chili crisp work really nice. The crisp is the fried garlic pieces, so that's nice. And then to garnish it, a little green onion and maybe some sesame seeds. All right, so now we took all that garlic and minced it up. You can do a really fine mince. You can do a rough chop. You can even do little slices like they do in Goodfellas. Get you a razor blade. It's really personal preference. I just did kind of in between a mince and a rough chop there. So that's a whole bulb. Usually that's, anywhere from 12 to 15 cloves. But just a whole bulb of garlic. About a thumb-sized nail, a thumb-sized piece of ginger. And what I've done is just grated that on a really fine grade. So get that going. And then about half a carrot, also really fine grade. Just get you a cheese grater, any type of grater there. And boom. So those are going to be some key components. Now let's make the sauce. All right, so we got the 4 tablespoons of butter melting in the Dutch oven. We got the pasta water boiling. That's getting ready. Let's make a sauce. All right, I said 4 components. It's actually, mainly 3. The sesame oil, we'll just do just a couple of little splashes. Not much at all. Just, maybe quarter teaspoon, just to kind of get a little bit of that sesame flavor. But then with the fish sauce, the oyster sauce, and the soy sauce, we're just going to do 2 tablespoons of each. And yeah, there's really no real preparation other than just combining these. So we'll do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of this nice fish sauce. And it doesn't have to be exact, like with any recipe in Dave's Kitchen. You can do the eyeball test, but just for the sake of the instructions, I'll be somewhat accurate. And then this oyster sauce. Good stuff. And what this is going to do, this is going to give us those deep, deep flavors I'm so fond of. And give us a nice umami. And you don't even have to mix that up yet. We'll do that into the pot. But the first step, now that we got this butter melted down, we're going to go ahead and saute this garlic. Let's get this going on here. And with the garlic, I said saute, but really, we don't want to even really get it brown. We're not looking, we're looking, but what we're going to do here, we're not going off of look. Sometimes if I'm sauteing garlic for an Italian dish or whatever, I'll wait till it gets a nice, just start to turn a nice golden brown. Here, what we're doing, we just want to get it at that very early stage, right before it starts to turn brown, as soon as you can smell it. As soon as you really smell that aroma of this garlic, that's when we're ready to add the sauce. Well, actually, we're going to add the carrot and the ginger. But we'll just let this kind of do its thing with the butter. And as soon as I can smell it, we will add the carrot and the ginger, get that going, and then we'll add the sauce. And anytime you're messing with garlic, the last thing you want to do is burn it. So I always do a low to medium low heat. You wouldn't want to crank this up full blast because then it's going to burn fairly quickly. And like I said, we're not trying to even brown it. Right before the browning stage is when that aroma will release. And boy, what an aroma that is. Is there anything better than sauteed garlic and butter? Man, they should make a cologne out of that. All right, I can smell the aroma. That took about 60 seconds on medium to low heat. Soon as you can smell that delicious aroma, let's throw in our half of carrot, all grated up, and our thumb size piece of grated ginger. So right now, we're starting with just butter, garlic, carrot, and ginger. Just let those guys join the party. Look at that, oh my God. So this alone is already a fantastic base with butter, garlic, carrot, and ginger. Then we're gonna add that sauce, and it is umami time. And of course, once you add the carrot and ginger, that's going to slow down the cooking process on that garlic. So as long as we don't let this ride for 5 minutes or something, we're not going to have to worry about it burning. So yeah, maybe another 60 seconds once the carrot and ginger get in there, and that's looking and smelling good. Now we got our sauce. Again, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, and just a couple shakes of sesame oil. Look at that. Oh, son. Look at that. And we're not even really trying to cook this sauce. Like, it's ready to go now. Like, it's not like a typical sauce that maybe you have to let it simmer for a while. We're just kind of incorporating all these flavors. So right now we got butter, we got garlic, we got ginger, we got carrot, oyster sauce, fish sauce, soy sauce, and a little bit of sesame oil. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes. And then once the pasta's ready, we'll throw the pasta in there. Now with the pasta, cook it per the instructions. Maybe you want to cut it short about a minute. We're looking for kind of an al dente because we're still going to have to throw it into the Dutch oven with the sauce. So I'm going to go about 8 or 9 minutes on this. And of course, as you know, always salt your pasta water. Salt the hell out of it. When you think you've done too much, you're probably right on target. And one mistake I had been making for years, because I learned how to cook pasta at Applebee's, and this is how they told me to do it, but obviously we would salt our water, but we would throw a little bit of oil in there for the purpose of keeping all the noodles lubricated and separated. Like, you don't want, if you just throw this in there and walk away for 9 minutes, a lot of those noodles are going to clump up together. And I always thought that the way to avoid that is the oil, and it works in that regard. But the problem you have, and I never noticed this, I think until a podcast listener pointed it out, if you've got oily noodles, they're not going to work with whatever sauce you're doing, whether you're doing tomato sauce or even this garlic noodle sauce. The oil is going to make all the sauce just slip right off. It's not going to absorb that sauce. So I no longer oil my noodles, but to keep them all separated, I just kind of tend to them and make sure everything's nice and broken up so it doesn't clump. So a lot of salt, no oil. All right, guys, noodles are ready. Been rolling about 9 minutes. Now, unlike most pasta dishes, if you're cooking up some spaghetti or whatever, you're obviously going to strain the noodles. We're not straining because we want some of this pasta water into the mix to kind of act as another binder. So I'm just going to go straight from the pot into that pot. It takes a little while. You're going to have some some loose ones try to get away. But yeah, and don't worry about them not being strained, because like I said, we're going to need a little bit of this, and we'll add some more in a second. But all the noodles out of that pool into this pool. All right, that looks like all of them there. And we'll just take, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of that pasta water. Now look at this. This is where things get fun. We've got that sauce that we just made. Now everything's kind of incorporating together. All that garlic, the nice grated carrot, the nice grated ginger, the delicious sauce, umami time, the fish sauce, the oyster sauce, the soy sauce, the sesame oil. Look at that. Oh. Now, we can go ahead and kill the heat on that. Now look at this. Let's get, and this part, like I said, it's optional. If you don't like spice, leave this part out. If you love it, put a lot in there. I'm going to do like 1 heaping spoonful. Look at that right there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Get that going. Then, like I said, I'm aware this feels unnatural, but trust me, it works. Pecorino Romano, again, optional as far as quantity. Unless you're just lactose intolerant or vegan, I get that. But this really does add a lot in terms of flavor, and it binds it all together. So I'm going to do a pretty hearty portion there. That probably is about right. Let's get that going. And let's get some green onion going real quick. Forgot to get that going. Let's just get some nice green onion in there. Let's go ahead and do some sesame seeds. Look at that. And then last but not least, we'll just hit it with a little bit of fresh lime juice. Just to kind of give it a little acidity to kind of brighten it all up, bring it all together. And boom time. Look at that. I would do that thing where they kind of twist it all around, but I don't really know how to do that. And let's hit it with a little more onion. A few more sesame seeds. Maybe even hit it with just a little more of this. The chili oil. Son. Again, so simple. Noodles, butter, garlic, ginger, carrot, soy sauce, fish sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil, a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of sesame seed, and some pecorino Romano cheese. Deep flavors. That umami with those fish and oyster sauce, the garlic, the heat from the chili sauce. Noodles are perfect, al dente. The cheese adds a little more saltiness. Simple, quick, delicious. Now, as you can tell, I guess this would fall under a vegetarian dish. There's not many dishes that don't have any protein that I'm super fond of, but this is one of them. You don't have to have great chops in the kitchen, pun intended. You can do simple math. You can boil some water. You got a little bit of skills. You can make all this stuff.
But yeah, spicy garlic noodles, Dave's Kitchen. So good, guys. Thank you so much. So excited about this new channel. So happy to have y'all with me. Your support, I'm not smart enough to articulate how much your support means to me. But yeah, we're going to have fun here. More videos, some podcasts, restaurant reviews, whatever you're into. Comment below. Reach out, keep in touch. I want this to be a nice little community here. A nice, fat community. No, I'm not projecting onto you guys. I'm just, I'm glad I've got a community here of people like you who are as just enthusiastic about delicious food as I am. It's amazing how far chubby little 8-year-old Dave has come from 4 platters of chicken fried rice at Lucky Chopsticks to spicy garlic noodles right here in Dave's Kitchen. It's a journey, but a delicious one. We'll see y'all soon.